Hi, hello, welcome to Arcanum of Magic and Steamwork Obscure Things. Yes, we are here in the Iron Clan, or no, the Wheel Clan of Mines Mountain Place. Yes, let's stop that. Yes, we're here with the Wheel Clan back again, and we we've leveled up along the way to here, so I think we should use that point to put I've been thinking, like, okay, should we go with charisma right now to upgrade that, or stick with smithing? And I think in our case we need to focus on the smithing. We really want some better equipment down the line here, so we're going for the dwarven gauntlets. Now we are at the same level as Magnus is, but Magnus will never go past this level from what I know. Let's see.
What do you need to know?
Yes, I would like to know more about you. Yeah, Magnus is at 13 intelligence, and he will never be going past that in his leveling up scheme, so he will never get the Helmet of Vision or better, unfortunately. Wish you could just like guide their leveling yourself. That would be much better, but no. But we should have the charisma skills we need for this area, and I have discovered that, well, because of, I don't know if it's a bug, but it's a thing with the mods that we're running, with playing as a full-blooded ogre, we will never be able to get Torval 2 stones to, basically we can never get the quest marker, so we can never tell the dwarves that, hey, Torval 2 stones need rescuing, so he's stuck on that island forever. Might have been better if we killed him anyway. Alright. So here is the dwarves' central castle, I guess, which is a pretty cool, I think, design. So let's go in and have some words. To handle this well, I do think we should take one of the mind marvels. That should be enough to carry us through this whole bit.
Hello.
Greetings, traveler.
I'm sorry, I don't believe we have met, I think. Unless you're Magnus.
No, I am Randvar Thunderstone, son of Logar Thunderstone. I stand as chieftain and king in waiting of all the dwarves, both over and under the mountain, and in the lands of Arcanum. Welcome to the caverns of the Wheel Clan.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Lockies. That's all real friendly. Ooh, you have some nice baths here. Can I make use of that? I'll just strip down a little bit. I'll keep my skivvies on. Anyways, I've got some questions.
Of course, what do you need?
So, you said you were king in waiting. Are you like a real king that's just like real patient, or is it something else?
Oh yes, my father is unavailable and I rule in his stead. But I am not the true king, and I will not be as long as my father lives. I am only the king in waiting.
Oh, I see. Well, you're king enough, so I'll need your assistance.
Of course, what do you need?
I've come with news of a real dire nature.
Dire nature? What are you speaking of?
Alright, I got this really long tale. Like, first, there was like this flying machine, and it crashed, and I was on it, so I got bumped around, but I'm okay. But everyone was not, including like what I thought was like a gnome, right? He was a real ugly gnome. And then he gave me a ring and said, "You fine boy." So I went all the way to Durand and then got some messages and beat up some necromancers. And then I found the boy was a guy named Gilbert Bates, and he said, "Oh, that must have been a dwarf from the Black Mountain Clan, it is." And then he sent me to the Black Mountain Clan, but there's no one there. So I get to the Isle of Despair, and I've been looking there, but there was only like real sad people. people, and they were not like real helpful at all. Torvald Toustone is an asshole, by the way. You can tell him I said that, but you never will investigate him, so he's gonna rot there forever. Anyways, there were no Black Mountain dwarfs there, so I came looking for them right here.
Renfrew is quiet for some time. I see. And you have been to the Isle of Despair to confirm the story of Gudmund Orbender?
Yeah, that was the long and short of it.
This troubles me, my friend. We were given assurance by Alberich. Assurances! Bloody meddling or blast them all to the dark depths.
Blast who? I'm not so good with explosives, but else are real easy to blast, so okay. What's going on?
This is an old and dark business, the business of my father, and as I am his heir, it falls to me to make it right. But I know not what to do. He told me so little.
What happened to your father anyway, Ranford?
Visibly shaken. My father! Great and solid Ogor Thunderstone, King of the Dwarves! Do you know of him, stranger? The stories of his courage and his strength and his wisdom. My father, stone among stones, from out of the madness of the clan wars, he united us under one banner, under one king, through the sheer power of his will.
Was the clan war then?
Yes. It was a sad time in our history. For 500 years there was a rift among the dwarves. We built great machines of war and threw ourselves against one another, and entire clans were lost in the battle. The dark times and the time of Lorak's insanity. We speak very little of that time.
Who's Lorak?
I said we don't often speak of it. That's a conversation for another time, perhaps.
Oh. Okay, is it a conversation about now?
No.
How about now?
No.
How about now?
No, this will not be for a long many hours.
Okay, I'll get back to you in a couple of hours then. Anyway, for now though, where's Ogor Renford and what happened to him?
It broke his heart, the heavy stone heart. He warred against Lorak the Abjurer in the pass of Gorgoth, who in victory burned Lorak alive, along with 10,000 of his dwarven followers, and this broke him like a child upon a stone of the world.
Look, Renford, I really need to know what happened properly, like.
Renford calms himself. It is the Orb, as the Orbender told you. My father permitted the banishment of his own people by the elves. He watched them sent away, heard their cries with the hardness born of 100 generations of Thunderstone. My father came home upon his knees, cried out for his lost and foolish brethren, tears of regret, stranger, regret, shame and sorrow. The cavern shook with his fury, shook with the impact of his hands upon the bare stone. He tore the clothes from his body and set his bulk against the wall and the floors, and his sorrow was marked with blood.
Alright, and then?
I told you, he left us, walked into the old caverns with nothing but Harrow, first axe of the Thunderstones, and with that weapon he disappeared, exiled by his own grief, and left the Wheel Clan. He has never returned.
Gottman spoke of a connection to Gilbert Bates. Is that the thing then?
Bates! It was Bates who spread technology and its disease. Who are we to blame? But who are we to blame him? Humans? Cursed with brevity and lacking in patience, lacking in discernment. I have spent human lifetimes deciding upon what type of stone to use for a mule. Look what they've done in only a few turns of the moon. And with this the elves came to us, and speaking of punishment,
Oh, are the elves? What was their role in all this?
The elves? It was they who made the demands who demanded the banishment of the Black Mountain clan for their crimes. But as for the reasons, as I said, I know very little. My father never told me the details of his discussions with them, only that what had been decided was necessary, and that the responsibility would be his.
So what did they think were crimes then of the Black Mountain clan?
Technology! Manipulation of natural force, the stone, the gearworks, and that make men gods! This is our legacy given into the hands of reckless children, and the disease has spread, and the cost, stranger. Oh, the bloody cost!
Well, you are awfully dramatic about all this. What did the rest of the clan say? Were they as dramatic as you?
The other clans never knew that the elves were involved with the banishment. They were only told that the Black Mountain clan had been exiled, punished for their crimes, and my father was the only one person when their sentence was passed. One present when their sentence was passed.
So the elves who approached him, who were they?
They were elves, you stupid fool. They have pointy ears, they're all the same anyway. I'm a bloody racist. Anyway, I've no idea. And I know not why my father felt it necessary to speak with them, nor to heed their demands. As my king, my father never should have allowed them to interfere, but for some reason he allowed it. He never spoke a word about it since.
Well, it seems I really need to speak with long hair, whatever, that guy with hair and logs about this. Where is he?
I told you, he exiled himself! He walked into the dredge and has never returned!
Okay, the dredge. What is the dredge? Is that like a little poop hole?
The dredge is an old system of caverns, and mine, actually, not far from here. The entrance is just beyond the entrance of these chambers, and to the southeast there will be a stone archway. Beyond that you will find the dredge into which my father disappeared.
So what do I expect to find this dredge, Poop?
Right now it serves little purpose but to house an assortment of foul creatures and poop.
I told you, I thought there would be poop down there.
Yes, we dump our poop in there. Anyway, there's a minecart tracks and an occasional storeroom. No one ventures there anymore, and I don't know anything beyond that.
Look, I'm real confused. Why exactly is your father so ashamed of these things? Means what a real kind of a dick thing to do, but don't seem that bad.
That's a complicated discussion, friend. A very long one, and I'm not sure you'd fully be able to understand.
I believe I've got real good head and mental powers for that sort of thing.
Perhaps you are correct. Fine. My father's reasons for leaving are tied up in ageless tradition. Truly, in his opinion, he had no option other than to leave his clan. He was only doing what he saw to be his only choice.
So you spoke of dwarven tradition. Of what tradition do you speak?
Perhaps tradition is the wrong word. Philosophy might be a better one, though we dwarves rarely consider ourselves philosophers. A philosophy, as most know it, infers a certain amount of subjective opinion, a particular open-mindedness toward trains of thought. What I speak of is different.
So what exactly are you speaking of then?
I'm talking about the stuff of dwarven souls, the tenets we live by, our moral fibre, though morality plays no part in it. Not morality as most know it. What I speak of, friend, what I speak of, friend, is what is known as the stone and the ship.
Okay, please continue.
To be a dwarf, what does this mean? Our character is defined through immovability, the solidity of stone. We dwarfs see the souls not as something ephemeral, transient, but as rooted in this reality as the mountain from which we carve our home. Do you understand?
Oh, I thought being a dwarf was all about being real short. Because you all are really short. Now, most humans are real short too, so I don't know. And gnomes are very short too, so maybe that was dumb thinking of me. Anyway, I'm sure. So you're speaking of like what dwarves got in common, right? Besides being short.
Yes! I speak both of metaphorical and literal. We are dwarves. There is not much about us. There is much about us that is like the stone. We feel no more at home than when it surrounds us. It carries us to to us the roar of a great molten flows, or the slow whine of the subterranean ocean rivers, or when all is quiet, the mountain whisper so steeped in age that even the stars were young when they were first spoken.
I don't think that's the real case when you look at astrological timescales and such. So...
And so, to understand this is to understand part of what makes us dwarves. These loves are immovable and unchangeable, and so we are like the stone.
Okay, I'll see that. What about the shape? What's that about?
The shape is what forms us, what defines our being and our purpose and the things we say and do. As we are many types of stone, so there are many types of shapes. Granite for bricks, and shale for oilstone, marble for statues, and crystals for the fragile and the precise.
So could you explain that a little bit further, please?
How can I make this more clear to you? A stone yields what's already within, so we as dwarves look within to see what we are to become.
So wait, so the shape that defines what the stone becomes.
This is the most important concept. One cannot exist without the other. To a certain degree, the shape does define what the stone becomes. Flint makes a good striking sticks, but the reverse is just as true. You can't make a good striking sticks without flint. Shape arises from the stone, but the stone is dependent upon the shape. Do you understand?
I want to make sure I understand all this. You guys like rocks, right?
It is perhaps stated more simply in this way. As slate will flake and crack under a sculptor's chisel, so will a dwarf who knows not his purpose and knows not his shape.
So the stone and the shape define, well, let's just say that I understand this sort of thing. It's kind of like a fate sort of thing. So, in terms of your father.
My father left us because he felt he had betrayed both his stone and his shape. He felt that allowing the elves to banish his brethren was a betrayal of his stone. The same act was also the betrayal of his shape. Being king of the dwarves without either, he was empty.
And what then of the other guy, Lorak the Abjurer?
Lorak was a dwarf who had betrayed his stone. He believed that his clan was better than those of other dwarfs. And because of this, only they were fit to rule. Anyone who opposed him was put to death. His words were evil, but he spoke them well. Many dwarfs followed him, and many more died because of it.
So was Lorak's stone flawed in the shape? So his shape was also flawed?
Well spoken, friend. You've wisdom beyond your years.
Oh, thank you. I did not know I was being wisdom. Anyways, what's your opinion on your father's choice then?
There are times, my friend, when the choices we are forced to make cannot be true in both shape and stone. I have thought long and hard on this issue. I have not the answers. But I know my father is a dwarf amongst dwarves. There is a saying amongst us, weigh your own stone. It is not for me to decide.
Thank you, Ranford. I feel like I got a little bit better understanding of your father.
No, thank you, my friend. Few are the outlanders who would even care to ask. It's good that I've shared these things with you today.
Can we continue with the discussion?
So what I make out of it is that, a dwarf has an inherent morality within them that is kind of like the stone. And the shape is kind of like life forming that inherent morality. But the shape must be in line with the stone, or else the dwarf is not functional. And apparently Ogor, when the whole banishment acted in such a way that he betrayed both the shape, so how he morally formed to be king of the dwarves, and his stone, so his own inherent morality. So he betrayed both kind of his role as king and his inherent morality, from which his role as king has grown. So that's the whole banishment thing. That's what I understand of it. If you think it's something else, then please let me know. Certainly, where were we?
I'm sure you got some idea where he is.
Why would you think that? If a dwarf wants to be alone, then the dwarf stays alone.
But you're his son. You obviously have gone looking for him.
And why? He left me to rule a kingdom, and rule it I will. What sort of son would I be to go running around in the dark looking for his father who doesn't care?
Look, I think your anger is like real acted and stuff. It's like hollow, right? You don't need to protect it from him. I just want to talk.
Ah, you see more than most, my friend. You are correct. I hold no animosity towards my father. My heart breaks every day that he is gone.
I just think the truth, and I think your father would want that as well.
I believe you, stranger. I truly do. I just might be able to point you into the right direction.
Okay, any help would be appreciated.
I must admit you are correct. I do see him almost every day, although he says very little. He lives deep within the dredge, but I have a hidden passage through which I travel, and within it you will encounter no trouble. Just enter here and through the secret passage under the throne. I trust you, stranger. You will find your answers. Do what is right, and I pray you will tell him. He will tell you what you need to know.
I will most certainly try. Thank you, Ranford.
And then the throne opens and there's an immediate secret passage that pretty much goes straight to where he's hiding. Now we could go through that and very easily solve it, but I think I actually want to go through the dredge because it's kind of like a dungeon. And you know what? Killing things gives us a lot of experience points, so I see no reason why we will not want to enjoy that. So, there's probably going to be a slight dungeon crawl next time. I'll probably cut it up so it's a little bit faster. And then, we can go and see Ogor. So until then, bye-bye.